So, knitting. I'm working on a new project, and one of my goals for this year was to learn intarsia knitting, like color working. And this is my first project that I've been working on. I have this beautiful Peace Fleece wool in these amazing colors. Like, I love this color combination so much. And I saw a pattern on Pinterest of like a vintage sweater, Pachamama, I think. But this is the sweater that I want to try to recreate. I've looked for patterns for the sweater and there's none available. So of course, I'm gonna Frankenstein one. So that's what I've been doing. I'm using the Drops Dusty Rose basic like sweater pattern for the body of the sweater, and then I've been using, of course, Pinterest to try to find color working charts and grids and stuff, but I didn't really find any that kind of matched exactly what I was going for. I might use like one of the alpha patterns for one of the alpha bracelets, because why not, you know? But I did end up spending like 4 hours this weekend creating knitting charts on Chartminder. I mean, okay, so this one has sticky notes on it because it was my first attempt and it hasn't been going great because this is the first time I've done intarsia, so it's a bit messy. But I've been like keeping track of all the rows that I've been doing, and I did math to figure out like the chart, you know? So this is what we have so far. Now, okay, I'm gonna try to be nice to myself. For my first time ever doing intarsia, this is not horrible, okay? But I hate it. It's so wrinkly and bumpy and like it's so scrunchy and it's pulling at all of the like yarn around it. However, my floats are so clean. Like, these are beautiful floats, I think. For my first time, again, doing it. These floats, I'm obsessed. But this, not so much. I love the color combo though. That is what I'm obsessed with. I was working on it yesterday and I was like, oh, I hate this about this far up. And then I just kept doing it to see if I could make it better. And it didn't get better. So I will be frogging the intarsia pattern down to where it's just white again. And I will be starting over. And I watched a bunch of tutorials for color working, stranded knitting, and intarsia. I've come up with a couple ideas for how I can make it better, I think. So first thing is I need to rework my chart and maybe do some more math, because as of right now, I'll use the one that's not written all over. As of right now, like this rectangle is the amount of stitches and rows the white part of the sweater is. So just like the front part of the sweater, that's what all of these white bits are. But stitches are taller than they are wide. So I think the proportions are off on this. And I think I need to make it wider and shorter, because yes, this pattern that I have is a square, but it's coming out as like a tall rectangle. Again, that's because I'm pulling too tight on the stitches and on the floats, but also because stitches are taller than they are wide. And so that's the first thing I need to do. I think I need to rework my chart, maybe do some more math. And then the second thing, I only have one white bobbin right now for all the white, and I think because I'm having to not only float the two colors behind, I'm also having to float the white across. That's causing more pulling. And I think if I had two separate white bobbins for each side, that would definitely help, and it would decrease the amount of floats that I have to do in the back. It would make it less messy in the back, and hopefully there would be less pulling in from the sides if there was a white on this side and a white on this side to knit from. That's the second thing. And the third thing is, I think I have been so worried about there being gaps and holes in between the color changes in the stitches that I've been pulling super tight on the color changes, and also on the floats. I think I watched a bunch of tutorials, and I think when I've been knitting and when I've been going to do a color change and a float of a yarn, I've been scrunching up, like say, here, let's get close. Say if I was switching from the red to the yellow, I've been scrunching up these red stitches to do the float of the yellow and then knitting. So that's why I'm getting these scrunchy bits at the front, especially this yellow. This yellow is so like pursed and like bumpy because I've been pulling the float too tight across and I haven't been stretching out the stitches and then doing the float. I've been scrunching them up, doing the tight float because I want to keep it, I want to make sure there's no gaps, but that's causing it to purse up and get all wrinkly. I do love the color combo though, and I do love the pattern. I do have to rework it though, but like this is a great learning experience for me. Like I've never made a knitting chart before, so it's been very cool to figure that out. I've never done a targe before, so it's been a big, huge learning experience, and I'm really proud of myself with these floats. Even if they are super tight, like they look clean to me. And this is a pattern, you know? It's something. That's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm picking up stitches underneath the pattern where I'm gonna frog it so that I don't lose this work down here. So I'm just picking up all of these so then I can unravel all this, and then I'll have this row all set to start with. Okay, I have the needles in place down here at the bottom to catch the stitches when I pull all this out. So guess we're just gonna take it off the needles and start unraveling. Oh my god. This is like so devastating. I mean, this is 2 days of work. It's 2 days of learning. I learned a lot. And this is gonna be so not fun to unravel. I'm gonna have to do it row by row. Okay, yeah, this is gonna take forever. Great. Okay. I'm gonna be here for a while. And then of course the fibers get all knotted together, and it's not even a real knot, it's just the fibers. Okay, unraveling done. Now I'm back down to just the white part, and now I'm going to start adding the color again and adding the other white bobbin on the other side. So it's going to be white on one side, then the yellow and red in the middle for the color work, and then white on the other side. Also printed out my new pattern, the new chart, and so I'm just gonna see how it goes. So I have to start with 28 stitches of white. Well, I should also probably count the number of stitches I have just to make sure that it's correct. I have the 28. I'm starting with red. Wait, okay. Put it through the back, place it on my right hand needle, pull it through, fold over, and how many of these we need to do. I'm going to try to keep the tension the same. Red for 30 stitches. Okay. $30 red stitches, and now with the second white bobbin, I am going to add this. Okay, first row done. We have a line of red, people. Okay, yes.
Super dream. Every layer and every component is going to be seasoned, and that's why everything is.
Okay, it's the end of the day. I've gotten almost the whole pattern done, and I just did decreases for the underarm, and I'm calling it a night. I have like 4 more rows of the color working, but I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. It looks so much better than before. There's still like the tiniest bit of pulling in some places, but I'm totally fine with that. And then I think the floats look really good on the back. So yeah, that's what we have so far. So this is the finished color work. I'm so proud of it. It looks so much better than it did at the beginning. And these are the floats. I caught every like 5 stitches, and then now I'm just working on the neckline shaping. I casted off a few stitches in the middle. I'm forgetting exactly how many, but then I decreased a little bit on each side for the shaping of the neckline, kind of rounded shaping. And now I'm just going back and forth with the straps and watching YouTube or NCIS or whatever other show I was currently watching. Okay. I have worked, oh my god, it looks so good. The neckline, I bound off in the middle, and then I just did some decreases up to the shoulders. And now I'm just doing the last row and binding off on the shoulder, and then I'm going to sew the shoulders together and the sides and probably start on the sleeves. I'm so proud of my color work, because the only other color work I've done is stripes, which is way easier than stranded color working or intarsia. So yeah, I learned this new skill, and that's super cool. And now I'm gonna do a bunch of other color working patterns because I can now. Because I know how. Okay. And we have the front panel. Yay! Here we have me in Sleeve City. This pattern from Drops had me working bottom up for the sleeve, which I just think is wild. I don't like working things bottom up. And here we have me unraveling it because I hated it. I hated the shaping of it. And yeah, how wide it was gonna be, and I was not pleased with how it was turning out. So I unraveled it. It was a day of work, but that's totally fine. Come back for the second part of this video where I finish the sweater, and thank you so much for watching.